Balotelli, Aguero!
Well, guys, welcome to MCFC 9320 TV. Well, what's your thoughts on the Cheltenham match tonight, the FA Cup? Got to say, Cheltenham absolutely fantastic, and they did themselves absolutely proud. 3-1. Did it flatter us? I certainly thought it flattered us. I thought Cheltenham were brilliant, good value in particular in the first half. I thought there was good value for going in at 0-0, and I thought when they took the lead, there was, couldn't have argued, to be honest. Yeah, it was a long ball what came in from a towel throw in, but I thought there was banned. Are they banned? I don't know. Is that just in the Premier League? I'm sure somebody can tell me out there. I thought the way we played in the first half wasn't brilliant. I think Pep had a lot to say in that. I thought he had to take a little bit on his chin, to be fair, in the first half, you know, especially about starting lineup. Yeah, he brought a lot of experience in Mendy, Laporte, Torres, Garcia. You know, I do consider him as an established, experienced player. On top of that, THB at right back. We also had young Tommy Doyle in midfield. I actually thought Tommy Doyle was absolutely fantastic in the first half in particular. I thought he was fantastic. But yeah, he brought a lot of experience in. Saying that, you know, a lot of experience, but didn't have a lot of match fitness. So add the lack of match fitness for the experienced players, so bringing some of the younger ones in, out of confidence players like Gabriel Jesus, and then, you know, it made for a terrific cup tie, really, you know, because the pitch wasn't brilliant. Okay, yeah, it's the same for both teams, but we're more of a free flowing football team. So yeah, all in all, you know,
well, guys, 3-1. Did it flatter us a little bit? I thought, you know, Cheltenham were very, very, very good value for money. I've got with us tonight Alex, Anne-Marie, and also Stuart, all members of the group. So we'll start with Alex. Alex, what's your thoughts on the game today?
First of all, fair play to Cheltenham. I think this is a historic night for them. They were really up for it, and to be honest, I wouldn't really expect this kind of performance from a League Two side. So it was absolutely massive. I think they defended well. Their goalkeeper was really good. He's, I think, from West Brom Albion on loan, and he looks quite young. I think he's like 18 years old, something like that. So they were really good. But the other team, Man City, I think we were pretty flat, lethargic for the most part of the game, maybe until the 80th minute. I was more disappointed with the guys that could, you know, make the first team, like, you know, Mahrez, Gabi Jesus, Ferran Torres. They weren't really up for it.
Why do you think that is? Because I know Pep brought a lot of experience in, but Mendy he's not had much game time. Torres, much game time. Gabriel Jesus, he's not had a lot of game time, really. Laporte, he's not had much game time. And you put Laporte at the side of Garcia, who's with injury and stuff like that. So, and then add to the mix, you got Tommy Doyle in midfield, Bellis playing right back. So I wasn't I did post in the group, you know, before the match started, that I wasn't comfortable with that lineup for tonight, because although there was a lot of experience what came in, there wasn't a lot of experience what was match fit. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, totally agree, especially when it comes to Mendy and Laporte and also Torres. I think he was either injured or infected with COVID. I'm not too sure. And, Laporte is also a different story because Stones has been, stealing his place, so to say. I mean, I'm really glad that John Stones is doing good, but Laporte was meant to be, the center back of Manchester City. And I think he did well, but overall a pretty flat performance. And maybe they were just, they were thinking probably that, playing overtime against a League Two side is not acceptable, or I don't know, but it was really quick, 3 goals in like 10 minutes. That was probably some sort of panic. I don't know.
Totally agree, and I think it flattered us hugely. Anne-Marie, what do you reckon of our friend Riyad Mahrez's contribution tonight? considering he's been actually in the team, what's your thoughts on the way he played tonight?
Well, first of all, I'll ask you, what contribution? There wasn't one. My thoughts, Andy. I'm going to be honest about it. He is one player that should never, ever be in our starting lineup ever again.
Why is that?
Because he's not a team player. He gets the ball and he does 2 things. He has to cut back because he doesn't want to go down he doesn't want to play with his right foot, or he passes backwards. There was a 10-minute spell in the first half. He got the ball 4 times. He was robbed twice and passed backwards twice. It's not good enough. And when he does get the ball, it's all about him. Very rarely does he do anything to set up somebody else. It's all about him being able to cut back and get the shot away. And I think Leicester saw us coming. Well, £60 million for that.
Well, I have to agree with everything you say. To be fair, I think we set up a lot better with Sterling on the left, Bernardo on the right, and I think it's no coincidence since Riyad Mahrez came in, we've not seen the best of Bernardo Silva, because Bernardo Silva before Mahrez came in was absolutely sensational. He likes to jig and his left foot, and he's proven that time and time again.
But you only need to look at the last few games when Bernardo's been playing regularly. He's made a difference to our team. The other question I've got about tonight, though, is, Jesus, where was he playing?
Yeah.
For me, if he's supposed to be a striker, he plays as a striker. The ball going into the box, and far too often, he isn't there. And that's what he's paid to do.
Yeah.
Again, whether it's Pep, whether it's him, I don't know. But I'm glad he scored, because God knows he needed a goal for his confidence.
I thought the way he took that goal was absolutely sensational. Yeah. There's no ways about it. It wasn't offside or anything like that. For a player who's we're perceived to think that he's lacking confidence, I thought that touch, the way he brought it down and banged it away, was absolutely brilliant. Stuart, what do you reckon of Phil Foden? In the first half, he seemed to play in the middle. For me, it doesn't work in the middle. In the second half, I thought Phil Foden is absolutely fantastic, and I actually thought he dragged us through by his bootlaces in the last 10 minutes or so. Stuart, what's your thoughts on that?
I speak highly enough of the lad, and it doesn't matter where you play him across that front 3, whether you play him in the 3 in the middle. He just does a job. And tonight, you saw like the second half, he was spraying the ball around. He was absolutely loving his game. You could see it was like he was playing down the park with his mates. He was running with the ball. He was playing the balls at the right time. And that's the biggest pain in the backside I have with Mahrez. He's too selfish. And in my head, Mahrez tonight thought, I'm playing Cheltenham, I'm going to run at them and I'm going to be the hero. And he tries far too much and doesn't play the ball at the right time. Foden very rarely gets it wrong.
Do you think
he's 20?
Stuart, you say that. Do you think Pep got it wrong with his starting lineup tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the main parts I think he got it wrong was I think he got THB the wrong way around with Garcia, because they're both centre backs, but Garcia is about 5-6 inches shorter.
Yeah,
and they were massive, that team. So you should have had THB in the middle and Garcia on the. Well, there's debates on whether Garcia should be near the starting 11 anyway. That's quite a contentious decision among some City fans, but I think if in games like that, if we've got him, I'd rather play him and save our better ones for the ones that are more committed as such for the league.
So I totally agree with you that I think Pep got his starting 11 wrong. Do you think he got his substitutions absolutely spot on? Because I do. Because I thought when Gundogan came on, there was a lot of calmness. There was composure there. I thought Cancelo, Danny Murphy, what does he know? He was going, why they bring in a full back on? When they should be bringing a striker on. We know Cancelo is not an out and out fullback. For me, you can play him on left wing, you can play him on the right wing, and he does an absolutely fantastic job cutting in. And I thought his contribution when he came on was fantastic.
Cancelo in the last 3-4 months, I think he's turned every City fan.
Probably the candidate for. Yeah. Go on.
And it doesn't matter. He's played left back, right back. He almost plays in the middle for a lot of the games, and he just does a job. He's brilliant.
Alex, what's your thoughts on the way Benjamin Mendy played tonight?
He had one good shot that was defended, and that's all that I can remember, when it comes to his performance. That's it. Just pretty much invisible.
When we signed him, I was so excited because I thought he was perfect. I thought he was perfect for a Pep signing. When we signed him, he was attacking, he whipping some balls. Then first 7 or 8 games when he joined us, them balls he whipped in, he got a ridiculous amount of assists. Since his injuries, he is so negative. He seems to pass back more than Mahrez, and that's a lot.
Yeah. Anne-Marie, what do you reckon of your young Tommy Doyle's contribution tonight? I thought, in particular in the first half, he was absolutely brilliant. The way he seems to think that Mahrez was struggling on the right. So the best balls what came in the first half was from young Tommy Doyle, the way he was whipping them balls in.
Yeah, and I'd be inclined to agree, Andy. I think during half time, I actually saw a little bit of negativity towards him in the group. And for me, I think, the likes of Harwood Bellis, I'm not going to include Garcia in this, but for the likes of him and Tommy Doyle, the players around them should have been giving them all the encouragement, should have been the ones supporting them, not the other way around. These are young lads who are trying to find a way, and it's hard. It's hard for them because it's there for Tommy Doyle and even Phil. This is the club that they've supported since being a kid. They're living the dream.
Wasn't it great though to see Phil Foden and Tommy Doyle, and
THB,
in midfield, is that something we're going to be seeing more of? Because to be fair as well, I thought Fernandinho, some of his passing tonight was brilliant as well.
Yeah.
There was a calmness about him. But
I think there is a lot in that, Andy. I think the more we see these young lads, the more we can see that our future is looking bright. Because whereas in the past, I think a lot of our young lads we've brought in, they might have played a game in the first team and then they're dispatched out other places. Whereas I think with some of these, you only need to look because of our subs bench recently as well. There's always at least 2 young lads from the academy on our bench now. Now, Pep wouldn't put them there out of pure sentiment. So he's obviously seen stuff that we will all get to see. Even the way, we've heard a lot of people moaning, obviously it's all the media, about the amount of game time Foden gets. Don't get me wrong. I think Pep's handled it perfectly.
Absolutely.
And now we're at a point where we're seeing, we are, and the best is yet to come, but we're seeing what he is actually capable of. And like you said before, Stuart, he was the only player out on that pitch for me that actually looked like they cared. Particularly in that second half, he dragged us kicking and screaming into that game today.
Man of the match.
And for a young lad, I think it's amazing, and I hope he has many years with us.
It does bode well for the future, because even I was, to be honest, I was surprised that young Liam Delap didn't get on. Well, didn't get any game time tonight, because I thought he's a different.
He wasn't even on the bench, was he?
No, which was a big surprise.
Oh.
It was a big surprise. I believe it's due to his red card for the under 23s the other night. But looking at strikers again, we didn't play with an out striker tonight, because I thought Gabriel Jesus. I thought he wasn't the typical number 9 what you have straight down, feeding off. He seemed to. He just seemed to have a free role, and somebody like a Delap, he's like your big centre forward, if you like a I'm not saying it's the same quality as Edin Dzeko, but your big bustling striker who just goes for goal. We've not got
score a header,
and the in particular this season, I think the way we've changed our style of play a little bit. I think we need to start looking at thinking outside the box a little bit. So guys, let's talk about Cheltenham. I don't mean the Gold Cup, the horse racing or anything like that. I thought there was great value for money tonight, and I thought, I thought 3-1 flattered us a little bit, and I've got nothing but admiration the way they came at us, and they didn't just think, right, we'll just try and keep it down to a minimum because we're playing City. I've got nothing but admiration. Alex, what's your thoughts on the way Cheltenham played tonight?
Absolutely brilliant. I thought they were massive overachievers. I don't want to put them down in that sense, but given the fact that we're actually challenging for the Premier League and they're in League 2, I think they were absolutely phenomenal. Especially their goalkeeper, I was impressed with him, but also the striker. I don't remember his name. May or something. May. Yeah. May was good. Kind of dirty. But he scored the goal, and he was a warrior there. Just 10 out of 10, if you ask me. Despite the loss, I think they actually got something from this game.
Mm-hmm. Anne-Marie, what's your thoughts on the way Cheltenham came at us tonight?
Full credit to them, and there's more than one or two Premier League teams could learn a lesson from them. They didn't sit back. They didn't try and just defend for the whole game. They wanted to play football, and you can't knock that at all. I think the scoreline definitely flattered us. And there's two other things that kind of, when you look and you think about just niceness and class about a club. The manager in his pre-match press conference was full of praise for City fans and said about how we know what it feels like to be supporting a Division 2 club. So, full credit for that. And even at half-time, they spoke to the chairman, and the chairman was on about the crowdfunding and said about how the City fans had all got involved in it as well and thanked us for it. And for me, that's it's a little thing, but it shows you that they're a club that are going to head in, all being well, they're going to head in the right direction if they keep playing the way they are.
There was a few City connections in there. There was a couple of Manchester lads in there, and also I think it's the nephew of Tony Buck as well, who's their
goalkeeping coach.
The goalkeeping coach, so there is a little bit of a City connection there. And finally, Stuart, what's your thoughts the way Cheltenham set up against us and the way they played tonight?
I thought they were brilliant. I mean, when I was listening to all the build-up, because obviously I don't know a lot about Cheltenham and how they've been playing this season and things like that, but I was listening to the build-up, and they were talking about this set plays, and they've got 12 goals from set plays, and it made me think, oh, we're going to have a Wimbledon type team.
Sure, just let me
the 80s.
Just let me cut in there. They've got so many goals from set plays. What's your thoughts on the towel coming back? I actually thought that the towel drying the ball was actually banned, from the Rory Delap days. Yeah. I was quite annoyed with that.
Yeah, I thought that. But I thought nobody's mentioning it on telly, so I thought maybe.
I wonder if it's only a Premier League rule.
Well,
it shouldn't be, should it? Because it's a health and safety thing.
It comes back because of health and safety. No, I'm sorry. No pun intended, but everybody's touching them balls, so it's good for everybody. So I think we all agree, just having a chat here, that Cheltenham were good value tonight. City was a little bit, I wouldn't say fortunate, I'd say we was lucky to score 3 in the last 10 minutes. I thought Cheltenham did themselves really, really proud, and that's the beauty of the FA Cup. So I think we all agree, and it's like we're in the pub, guys. So Alex, raise a toast to the next round. Who do you want in the next round?
It's already been drawn, Andy.
Yeah, is it Swansea?
Oh, is it?
Yes, Swansea.
Too many Morettis, that, yeah. So,
yeah.
So Anne-Marie, who in the next round?
Swansea,
yeah.
Yeah.
Is it away or at home?
away.
Away again?
Swansea won, I think, was it 5-0 today?
Yeah, they've got the best defence in the league or something as well, haven't they?
And so have we in the Premier League, Stuart. So that's going to make out for a boring 5-all draw.
Well, they give us a good game a couple of years back, didn't they? We got lucky with a few decisions.
I remember a few tussles with the old Swans and stuff like with Wilfred Boney. On that note, I'd like to thank you, Stuart, Anne-Marie, and Alex for joining us. And again, if anybody wants to get involved and get on the show and stuff like that, you know what to do. Put it in the comments below. So thank you, guys, and I shall speak to you all soon.
Thanks, Andy. Thanks, everyone. Take care.
So there you go. That's the thoughts of Alex, Anne-Marie, and Stuart. Again, if you want to get involved in the show and stuff like that, leave your comments in the box, contact me by message, etc. If you just want to ask questions, you can also leave them in the comments box as well. So thank you for tuning in. If you like what we're doing, share it. You can see the social networks for Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, etc. going along there. So until next time, I shall see you. Bye-bye now.
Balotelli, Aguero!